years of excitement. That is what the return of the Weymouth Brockton Thanksgiving Day football rivalry has featured. Two exciting, well-played football games that have gone down to the very last second. On paper, this year's game should be no different. The two teams come in with nearly identical records. Weymouth 4-5, while the Boxers of Brockton High come in with a 5-4 mark. As for Weymouth High, what they will have to do in order to defeat Brockton in this third meeting?
I think the line has to play well, and I think the backs have to run hard. You know, if you get solid effort from everybody on the team, then you're bound to get the breaks.
Well, I think our offensive line's going to definitely be smaller than their defensive line, but we'll get it done. We got good tight ends, they catch well. The backs, they run hard. Steve Carasy's having a great year. Mike Taylor, you know, he's good. We're all good. We're not great overall, but, you know, we're a good team.
The novelty, Brockton. Everybody's talked about them. They're the big bad Boxers. We've heard all about them. Do you get up more for Brockton or for an old Collingwood game?
Well, probably Brockton, because it's the big Turkey Day game, and just there's going to be more people there, which makes the game more intense, and it's just the last game, and just everything, your whole season comes together, and you just come out firing. And Old Colony games, it's the same way.
What memory do you want to take out of this one? What specific memories?
Just a great feeling of beating them would be good enough. I think beating Brockton on Thanksgiving senior year is a good memory.
It's a little disappointing, but a win Thursday, it'll bring it all back. Thursday makes up for it all if we win then, because then with 5-5, 500, it's a world of difference between 5-5 and 4-6.
Thanksgiving, everybody, and welcome to Legion Field. As tonight, Dimension 23 presents high school football action. The Wildcats and the Boxers once again here at Legion Field in what should be a dandy of a contest. Good evening, everyone. With Leo Doyle, I'm Mark Ducharme. As you can see the crowd just filing in the Legion Field in what should be a dandy of a game, Leo. The Wildcats and the Boxers 2 years ago. Who could ever forget that game?
You're right, Mark. I mean, there's a lot of tradition behind both these schools. Got great programs, and you know, but it comes this time of year, you can just throw out the records because it becomes a one-game season, you know, and it's going to be a lot of fun here today if everyone can keep warm. I mean, there's no doubt about it. These are two great teams. Both play similar styles of ball. It's going to be a fun one. There's no doubt about that.
Even the Wildcat band and the cheerleaders and the dance team, believe me, everybody is frozen coming into this one. The Wildcats and the Boxers will be a very interesting contest. Prior to the game, I talked to Wildcat head coach Ross Tatora, and I talked to him about the fact that, you know, you can split a season down into three different parts. The opening part, then the next 8 games, and then Thanksgiving Day being such a special day, and this is what the coach told me.
Well, it certainly won't be another game, Mark, but I don't view it as something that is, in terms of preparation, in terms of the commitment that we as coaches and as players are asked to make. But certainly this game has meaning because, for one thing, it's the final game for a great group of seniors, so certainly it does have significance.
Do you almost take the approach that it is their Super Bowl?
Absolutely, but I think we've certainly felt that every game is important. Every game, we've asked kids to view every game and every play as if it were their final game. But certainly, it does have that special significance again, yes.
Let's take a look at the Boxers. A ball club that in the past, everybody has been terrorized by. This year, they're still a good ball club, but they're only 5-4, so it's, on paper, this looks like a very even matchup.
Well, I certainly will say this. I heard all the stories about Brockton was down, and I watched some film, and I wondered for sure why they were down. They're big, and they have speed, and they have some excellent athletes. No question, they are 5-4. Whether they were 5-4 or 9-0, we believe that we can play with these people and can win this football game.
Let's take a look at what are the keys, as far as you're concerned, to beating Brockton.
Offensively, we want to do as we have done, which is to be able to run the football effectively so that we can throw the football effectively. Therefore, we're believing that our philosophy of controlling the football when we are on offense is what we're going to do. Defensively, we have to be able to stop them from running because they certainly like to get in there behind their big 220-pound fullback, and they sometimes go to a triple I when they put a 260-pound kid in front of him. So they want to run the football hard, and we want to stop them from doing that. The other thing we need to be able to do is to stop their skill, their quickness. They have excellent quickness in number 81 and number 23, and the quarterback, Velios, is also an outstanding athlete. So we need to be able to contain those kids on the outside and stop them from running the ball hard on the inside.
In looking at the matchups, it's almost in one aspect that they are similar to what they have been, but maybe not as dominant, say, in the offensive and defensive lines, and it could come down to matter of line play.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I think that the team that controls the line of scrimmage in this football game is the team that wins this football game. That's probably true in every case, but absolutely we will control the line of scrimmage because that's where the game will be won.
You look at this game, no secrets, 10th game of the year. It's got to be the fact that they've seen enough film on you, you've seen enough film on them. It's almost to the point where you know their plays as well as they know their plays, and they know your plays the same way.
We ought to just play the last 2 minutes. You're right. Certainly we've watched enough film. We just picked up a film today as well, so I probably know the Brockton offense better than I know the Weymouth offense, and I'm sure they're probably saying the same thing. So you're right. Again, it comes down to execution, which is what football is all about anyway.
What about thoughts as head coach for the first year? What are some of the thoughts that have gone through your mind first year, what you've learned, haven't learned? Talk about it.
I've learned it's nice to make the first downs on 4th and short, that's for sure. What my thoughts are in this game, Mark, are primarily that I'm disappointed to see the season come to an end. These are great kids who have done everything that we've asked them to do. And it's a highlight for me to come here every day and see them because of the positive attitude that they have. What I've learned is that there are very few absolutes in the world. And so I understand that being a head coach, especially, the domain becomes much larger in terms of what I need to deal with. But my first and foremost thought is sad that this is coming to an end.
An absolutely frigid, cold day here at Legion Field. As you can hear the senior football players being announced to the crowd for their final game in Leo. The emotion here is unbelievable despite the cold weather.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it, Mark, and that's the beauty of high school football. A game can be won on just emotion and desire, you know. Who can muster up the strength, who can muster up the courage, and, you know, who can get the job done.
As it will be the Boxers of Brockton High kicking off to the Wildcats. Alan Bursey to kick off for the Boxers, as the Wildcats will be going from right to left.
Let's get ready to rumble! Gotta stay warm here, Mark. How's that gonna play out?
As you look at Matt Gill. Gill getting it out to the 33-yard line where he is dumped on the play as 84 Ben Regan. And the Wildcat offense, let's meet them individually as far as this 1993 Weymouth offense goes, which has had a pretty interesting year so far. Let's meet the 1993 Weymouth High offensive unit as the Wildcats come into this game with a 4-5 record, led by quarterback Ross Shannon. 5 touchdown passes on the season. 2 came against Bridgewater Rainham in his best game of the season. Steve Keresy's best game came against Falmouth, 215 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Mike Taylor's best offensive performance came against Silver Lake in the second week of the season, 80 yards rushing and a touchdown. Brian Scott has been a very durable, outstanding blocking fullback throughout the season. And Roy Ward, a very versatile performer out of the backfield, tied for the team lead in pass receptions with wide receiver Scott Gerard, whose touchdown reception came against Bridgewater Raynham. John Keenan's only pass reception this year came against Plymouth in the 9th week of the season. Tight end Matt Gill, can't do much better than that. 3 receptions, 3 touchdowns for the senior tight end. And Chuck Mackey, also a senior, 7 receptions, 125 yards on the season. The offensive line, left tackle Bob Bonacolto. His best game of the year came against North Quincy. Left guard Gene Gomes has had an outstanding senior campaign, as has had senior center Dave Gillespie, who's moved over from a tackle position to anchor the Wildcat offensive line. Right guard Sean Flavin has had a good season at right guard, as has right tackle tri-captain Ryan Casey. And if any of the Wildcat offensive linemen get banged up, Doug Vinitsky will come in and report in for duty.
Despite the cold weather, the crowd is unbelievable here.
Yeah, super crowd.
As Steve Keresy and Matt Gill sets up on the top of your screen as the Wildcats head right, and it's Keresy trying to turn the corner. Keresy, good yardage as he gets it out to about the 37-yard line as the boxer left side of the defense does the job, and that is led by 12. Mike Lander is one of the defensive backs for the Boxers. The Boxer defense, look out for 42, Larry Stroud at defensive end, and 20, Randy Wilson, put into the starting lineup for Coach Armin Colombo due to the injury to Mike Delaney. This Delaney, one of the key players for the Boxers, out with a leg injury. Straight ahead, the Wildcats go and run into 77, Mike Shreve, but Keresy gets it to the 40-yard line and sets up a 3rd down in about 2 situations.
It's obviously, it's already becoming obvious that, you know, the running game's going to be crucial, and line play is just critical in this one. You spoke to the coach about that. I mean, if Weymouth can control the line of scrimmage, they're a little outsized, I think, but you know, again, the emotion desires there if they can outwork them.
That's the key.
Exactly.
Outwork. 3rd and 2 from the 41. And Keresy 3rd straight time, and he will be close as Steve gets it out to about the 43. And it'll be interesting if the Wildcats are short, because Coach Rostatora might feel that his team can go at it for a 1st down. Roy Ward was signaling 1st down, but Wildcats definitely short. If you look across field from where we are in our broadcast location, from about the 50-yard line.
High above Legion Field, Mark. Looking down, not the brightest spot for us to be, but gives the people the best camera angle. So
I was looking at the Brockton cable crew across field, and I mean, you talk about it, they've got platforms that are almost high up as we are, and it's 4th and about an inch, and Ryan Casey tells the bench what the distance is, and you got to go for it, I think, right away, and just establish something for yourself as John Keenan brings in the play.
It's a game where, as we said, it's going to be won on the ground. You know, line play is crucial, and with the weather what it is, you know, you got to establish some momentum, and this is a great opportunity to do that.
Keresy deep back. Wildcats, first big play of the football game. Straight ahead, 1st down run, Roy Ward. As they fooled the Boxers by going to Ward and not going with Keresy.
Yeah. They do have so many weapons back there, Mark. You know, Ward's picked up a big chunk of yardage on the ground, as has obviously Keresy's been the main man, but you know, they have Taylor back there as well, and it gives them 3 options.
Yeah, we were getting the statistics from the Brockton radio crew, WBET, Charlie Bergeron and Nick Sabelli, and these teams have similar statistics. Keresy breaking loose. Steve Keresy into Brockton territory to the 42, where he is dropped on the play by Noel Gordine. And Keresy getting good blocks from the left side of the line from Gene Gomes and Bob Bonacolto. They just open up a hole.
Also carried for a 1st down.
That they did, Mark. They opened the hole. He just he hit the hole. He's been averaging about 4.4 on the ground. He picked up a nice chunk there.
5 straight running plays. Keresy in motion. Brian Scott gets lassoed crossing the 40 as big number 75 Adam Brodsky, a junior defensive tackle at 6'4", 265. Just a small youngster.
Yeah, a young pup, too.
Boxers have a lot of juniors on this ball club that are starting for head coach Armin Colombo. Scott gains 2, second down and 8. Just on the way. Wildcats and Boxers. As Shannon on the bootleg play action. Dump off to Brian Scott. Scott inside the 30 and dropped at the 29. And the Wildcats doing some changing up as Phil Reardon made the tackle. But Brian Scott being used a little bit more here in the early going. And an interesting note is the fact that Brian Scott only carried the ball just once a year ago, about 4 times this year. So the senior tri-captain getting a lot of use here in the early going.
In a big game like this, you need people to step up, and so far it's been Scott doing that.
Karasi looking for Scott's block, gets it to the far sidelines. Karasi inside the 20, Gordine runs him out of bounds at about the 16. And already the Wildcats have just issued the challenge to the Boxers. We can run at you and see if you can stop us.
You know, you say you got to mix it up with a pass and run, and what Weymouth's done is they've mixed it up with the run alone. They've been banging it straight at them, going left, going right, and they've gone to the air, so they look sharp on this drive here.
Wildcats very loose on the field. Very loose. They feel that they can do the job against this Boxer team.
First and 15.
Roy Ward pounds his way to the 12-yard line. As Ward getting a couple of yards in the play, and it's weird to see snow flurries in the Thanksgiving Day game. I can't remember snow flurries. I can remember the snow 4 years ago, but snow flurries.
They say high school football turns boys to men, and
I think it's
you're gonna need some hair on your chest today. Yeah. A little hair on your chest, Mark. On your back too, probably, for all I know.
Oof. Karasi trying to cut it up in the middle, and Karasi dropped it about the 12. Shreve plugged up the hole as he, along with 32, Tye Hudson, as the two are there to make the stop. Third down, and the Wildcats will need 7 for the first down.
Ball carrier brought down by Houston.
Boy, I'll tell you, even the fans are still making their way in here, and credit them. Both sides, believe me. Good wind chill. Not saying it nicely.
You know, there's a lot of great games going on in Massachusetts today, but this has got to be one of the best.
Karasi in motion. Shannon dump off. Matt Gill makes the catch inside the 10 to about the 6, where Ben Riggin brings him down, and Gill very close to a first down. And they'll spot Gill short by about a foot. So the Wildcats began this possession at their own 34, and they've had 1 4th down situation already. As the Wildcats trying to get on the board first, and they will go for it on 4th and a foot. Once again, another 4th down play. Toss pitch, Karasi cuts it back, gets the first down to the 5. Karasi definitely having the first down. He needed to get to the 6. And he got it to the 5-yard line. And well, let's see. I thought he got it to the 5.
I'm going to measure this one.
I'm surprised. I thought he got it a little farther.
You're seeing that play through maroon and gold colored glasses. Looks it's going to be close.
Bringing the chains in, measure for a first down.
Wildcats have hit the ball nearly 5.5 minutes. They say the Boxers held. Unbelievable. I thought that Karasi got it. I really thought that Karasi had gotten the first down. The Wildcats are inches short from getting that first down.
You know, it's an approximation across the field there, and it did look like he had it, but you know, when they bring it out for the exact measurement, he's a few inches short.
And the Boxer offense, Patrick Velios is the key individual in that offense. Quarterback wears 26. Well, I'll tell you, I thought when Karasi turned the corner, he had the first down. So the Wildcats do not. And inside the Brockton 10, they like to run the triple I formation. Mike Shreve will be the blocking back as Corey Montero gets spilled and goes to the line. Yes, hello, folks. Brian Scott, Bob Bonacolto there.
Brought down by the left side of the wing.
And the Wildcat defense. You'll meet them individually in the second half.
2nd and 10 for Brockton.
His key individuals, Bob Bonacolto and Michael Kelly in defensive tackles. And they give the Wildcats size to match the boxer size in the middle.
Weymouth didn't pick up any points here, but they got the momentum, drove deep in the zone, and they know they can move the ball. It's a confidence builder.
And taking advantage is Montero. Forget it. Corey Montero is just mugged. As Corey Montero, a 5'9", 180 junior, just could not go anywhere.
I think the camera will show that there was everyone was on the ball. You couldn't find a Wildcat who didn't have a piece of him there in that tackle.
Boy, they just went to the ball, and it's just the surge to the football is the key phrase on defense. Get about 5 or 6 people. And the Wildcats did have 5 or 6 people just around the football. Velios, we'll see if he'll pass. He's a 48% passer. And he slipped and falls down. Turf, which is like a crunch coat. If you're familiar with the Dairy Queen crunch coat ice cream cone. But it is just like that. There's a crust on the top, and Patrick Velios just got caught in a little bit of a divot.
Mark, you know, everything is going right here. They didn't get that spot maybe, but you know, they're going out there and earning it so far here in the first 6 minutes of the game.
Alan Bursey to punt. And not a heck of a lot of room for the junior punter. And he rides out a high kick. And everybody in a maroon and gold uniform gets away from it because the Wildcats will end up with the football at the boxer 27-28 yard line as it's a 26-yard punt.
27-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Weymouth coming up.
Well, I'll tell you, fast-moving first quarter, 3:45 to go, and the Wildcats love to punch one in here and take advantage of the field position. That's what they have set up for themselves. Roy Ward trying to pound his way inside the 25 and down to the 23 goes Ward.
Runs up the middle for Weymouth.
As the Wildcats
in on the
just making it a lot of different people.
As far as 4 yards, the 2nd and 6.
Doing things go, as far as I'm saying, is handling the football. Ooh, it's the wind.
It's biting.
It is. Kerosene just gets stood up as he gets to the middle of the line. And
I think this is going to be, you mentioned it's a fast-moving game, and that's exactly why, because it's been all on the ground, pound, pound, pound.
3rd and 6 for the Wildcats.
3rd and 6 for Weymouth.
And I'll be honest,
on the 24-yard line.
A little bit of cold you can shake up here, believe me. No wind, it is fine. When there's a wind, it is really, ooh, it is tough. Shannon fumbles the snap and then has to fall on it, as Ross just simply dropped the football.
There's a fumble on the play, recovered by Shannon of Weymouth.
You know, the Wildcats faced with another 4th down play. They're 1 for 2 so far in 4th down conversions.
You line up and you might see the defensive formation that you want that's going to work against the play call, and you get a little excited and you pull out maybe prematurely.
Ward says something to the fact that, what do we do? He says, well, we're going to call a timeout. It was confusion as far as what the Wildcats want to do. And you look at the Wildcat cheerleaders, you don't envy them on this day. We're scoreless with 1:50 to go, first period. Some of the crowd here at Legion Field.
A brave crew.
Believe me, a brave crew is right. As you look at what is a very cold day at Old Legion. And the Wildcats faced with another 4th down and long situation.
26-yard line.
Shannon. Complete and intercepted by Velios. John Keenan had it, and then they got ricocheted out of his hands, and Patrick Velios.
Mike, that play there almost benefits Weymouth, because if it's an incomplete pass, it's 4th down, it goes back to the spot of the ball. This way, they get a little bit better field position, Joe. If he's not going to make the reception, they'll take the interception.
Definitely. So a strange bounce, and so far the Boxers have turned the Wildcats away twice.
1st and 10 for Brockton.
For the Wildcats, though, you got to start, get your head, as far as the frustration aspects go, out of feeling that you got to feel sorry for yourself. You just got to buckle down the chin strap and say, okay, that was it. We made the mistakes. Now we got to come back and go to work. As Corey Montero goes nowhere. Michael Kelly will get up from the bottom of the pile, along with Mike Taylor and Matt Gill.
Yeah, they've been playing with emotion. They just got to continue to do that. Continue to attack the ball on defense, and on offense, just be a little more patient.
Second down as the Boxers Velios going deep, intercepted. Pat O'Toole out at the 18. Patrick O'Toole with the interception as he read the Velios pass perfectly.
Mark, he gave him a little room, knowing he's thrown in a windy day, and Velios hung it up there. O'Toole just went streaming right to the ball, picked it off, and took it back. Weymouth can take advantage here. They're looking good.
And the Wildcats getting another opportunity with 52 seconds to go, first quarter.
You talk about big plays, and that's really the first big play we've seen here today. See if Weymouth can take advantage.
The key is, and something that it's got to be pointed out about this Wildcat team this year, is Shannon on the bootleg. Shannon is going to attack the corner and turn it upfield. Ross inside the 15 and down to the 11 with Noel Gordine. Brings him down along with Phil Reardon. But a point that has got to be brought up about the Wildcats this year, and stats I was talking to you before the game, is the fact that the Wildcats inside the 50-yard line of the opponent and forcing a turnover and taking it in for a score. They have forced only 3 turnovers this year, and counting block punts as turnovers. They have got a touchdown and 2 safeties of the 3.
That was a real nice, just going back to that last play, Shannon, a fantastic job of, reading the play and putting his head down and turning it up.
Toss pitch, Kersey trying to cut it back inside. Kersey gets the block from Brian Scott, gets inside the 10, sets up a 3rd and 1, but that 3rd and 1 may not be a 3rd and 1 because there's a marker down, and let's see what the marker brings out. And that will be the final play of the first quarter. No flag, wave it off. Wave it off, and well, Brian Scott and Roy Ward and company, I guess they're trying to tell Roy Ward that you might be coming out of your set position a little too quickly. 11-minute periods today, folks. And the Wildcats have been just pushing it up and down the field half the day, but they're looking for their first touchdown.
I'm going
no
for
score
hot
after
cocoa.
1.
The 1966 Thanksgiving Day football game was the final one, coached by Jack Fisher, as he was completing an outstanding career as head coach at Weymouth High, and he watched his defense just come out smoking in this game. Clyde Steeves going absolutely nowhere, and quarterback Paul Bradshaw looking to run, but he'll never escape Kenny Blaser. The Weymouth offense, it was functioning at premium optimum. Watch Brian Marini turn the corner, get away from a couple of tacklers, and score to put Weymouth on top very quickly. And when Marini and company were not doing it on the ground, they were doing it in the air with precision. Marini over the middle will find Mike Lasorto wide open for a big first down. It would set up this double reverse. Watch Richard Colligan's avenue to the end zone. He just escapes one Brockton tackler. He scores as easily as you can, and Weymouth was just about to begin to rout Brockton on this day, as the Weymouth offense scored early and often, as Marini firing to Lasorto, wide open. Touchdown, Mike Lasorto. 20-0 at this point, Weymouth. And they just kept on continuing to hammer at the Boxers as they would burst down to a 33-0 halftime lead en route to a 53-0 shutout in Jack Fisher's last game as coach.
Second period about to begin here at Legion Field, and you can hear taking care of business, and that's what the Wildcats would love to do, take care of some business as they own the first quarter. Fact of the matter is, they should have at least a touchdown on the board in a scoreless game. What do you do, Leo, if you're the Wildcats?
Well, you continue to play with the emotion that they have been. You know, they're fired up, and it's obvious. I mean, you had to think coming into this game that the Wildcats might have been slight underdogs to the powerful Brockton Boxers, but they've come out here and taken it to them. You just got to continue to do the job, and you'll get some points.
Will be held at the Weymouth House. Free admission and free refreshments.
Well, the Wildcats and the Boxers. As you look at the Wildcat offense, offensive coordinator Kevin Carvin.
I hope Dimensions Cable Services has a health insurance plan, because I think I'm going to lose a finger or toe.
I think I'm going to lose a finger, toe, and bronchitis, and you name it.
Hot dogs and so forth.
Maybe some pneumonia.
Yeah. Oh, is it cold, folks? And we're not in the heated press box.
No, take your frostbite like a man, Mark.
Steve Kerosy. Oh, first down, Kerosy. He almost broke it. As Kerosy to the 5 and a first and goal for the Wildcats.
He can do it all, Mark. He can get outside, and right there, he just took it right up the middle. He got hit, probably short of the first down, but just kept those legs moving, picked up the yardage necessary.
Well, 4 plays from the 6 for the Wildcats, who try to get on the board. Shannon, dump ball, touchdown, Roy Ward!
There you go, Mark. The hard work pays off, and it ends up in
Ward.
6.
That was beautifully executed. It's Ward, just a little dump off, and he was there waiting for it.
Mark, exactly. The way Weymouth has been running the ball, it sets up the pass. There's not a better example than that right there. Ward was wide open.
Michael Taylor, 45 out of 52 in his career at Weymouth High in point after kicks. It'll be on the golf tour after that one. He just put it over.
He brought up a divot, but it counts.
10:41 till half. Wildcats 7, Boxers nothing. Well, the Wildcats take advantage of the Pat O'Toole interception. And it's funny, the one interception or turnover that they forced inside the other team's 50 that they scored off of was a Pat O'Toole interception for a touchdown. And they defeated Taunton on that evening many, many moons ago, as the Wildcats score off the Pat O'Toole interception. And the big play was the running ability of Ross Shannon on that very first play, as he turned the corner and he made something happen. Taylor will try to keep it from Gordine. He puts it in Lander's hands at the 20. Landers, forget it. Rich Dearden. Oh, what a play on special teams by the senior, Richie Dearden.
Mark, I didn't see the cannon he was shot out of, but he come flying down there. It was like a missile. Seek and destroy. He found his man and just blew him away.
Boy, Richie Dearden can remember back against North Quincy, that punt that he covered against North Quincy and recovered the fumble from Derek Epps of North Quincy. Seven nothing Wildcats, 10:36 to go, first half. Mark Duchamp along with Leo Doyle. As Velios runs the option to Corey Montero, trying to turn the corner. Jimmy Gagnon chases him, and he just slices him down as Jimmy Gagnon played that very nicely. A 3-yard gain for Corey Montero.
3-yard gain, and if Gagnon doesn't get there, that's a 10 or 12-yard gain.
Well, Corey Montero and the Boxers got to be wondering right now.
About 3, 2nd and 7.
They are just running into a very highly emotional, supercharged Wildcat defense.
Mike, this is a real big stand for the Wildcat defense. You don't want to give one right back up after you've been dominating and got the early lead.
2nd down and 7. Corey Montero, good yardage to the 31 and close to a first down. Matt Gill and Doug Finitsky in on the stop. In fact, Montero and the Boxers will get the first. No, they will not get their first down. I was looking up at the top, the yard sticks, and everybody started to move forward and signal first down, and now they come back. And believe me, now we're getting a break. The sun is starting to try to peer out here.
Oh yeah, it's got to be a cozy 20 degrees now.
Ryan Casey looks on. They'll give him the first down, the Boxers.
Speaking of Taylor's kick there, I saw an old kicker out. Do you remember Scott the Shank Brooks?
Yep.
Yeah. They never kicked the extra point after when he was in there. Go for 2.
I was kidding his former coach before the game. They're not upstairs with us. Velios runs the option. Montero comes up. Dearden. Great. Well, Pat O'Toole, I'll tell you, along with Matt Gill. Because it looked like Richie Dearden running up there. It's a yard gain for Corey Montero, but I was kidding. His former head coach, Bart Weber, I said to him, I said, you guys are babies not coming up. He and Ron Punky Dowd, and they looked at us and said, no, we're smart.
This is true.
33-yard line.
8:58, clock ticking here at Legion Field in a cold Legion Field.
Frozen tundra of Legion Field.
John Facenda's famed voice. Velios to throw. Pressure from Bonacolto and Vinitsky. Velios is an excellent runner. Patrick trying to get away from Brian Scott, and does for a second. Scott brings it down with Pat O'Toole at the 40. But Bob Bonacolto just came storming up the middle.
Yeah, Mark, I mean, there's something where a kid can make a play. Turned a loss into a nice gain. But once again, Weymouth swarmed to the ball and making it happen.
Patrick Velios, the second leading rusher on this Boxer team. Corey Montero is the leading rusher. Third and 2. Montero stood up and dropped short of a first down. Vinitsky, Dearden, and Gill all over there. As the 3 of them did the job and just stacking the play up, and it'd be 4th and 1. An interesting call for Coach Armin Colombo and the Boxers. And they might just feel to get something for their offense to hang their hats on. They might go for it, but a lot of substitutions coming in, and the Boxers might rely also, take the other avenue, rely on the defense.
Yeah, the way the Weymouth defense has been attacking the ball, it's a difficult choice.
And Darrell Alexander, the Boxer center, came up as I hinged on that, hedged on that perfectly. And the Boxers will take a timeout. I hedged on that lovely little thing of what the Boxers might do. They're going to call a timeout to figure out what to do. We'll find out what Armin Colombo and the Boxers do as we take a break in this 7-0 Wildcat lead. What do the Boxers decide to do? Well, this is their punt formation. They'll break back into the punt formation, but you can look for the fake on 4th and 1. They try it. Patrick Filios. He is stood up by Bob Bonacolto, and the Wildcats are saying that they stopped him. And what a play by Bob Bonacolto, who came over the top.
Mark, you told me yesterday you thought he was going to have a big game, and that's a huge play if they stop him here.
I'll tell you, I look at it from the sticks, and you look at our camera position. Now, we're sort of off a little, center. But Bob Bonacolto, what a play. He just read it.
You are off center, Mark. There's no doubt about that.
Guess who's got the football?
The crowd will tell you that.
Credit Big 77. And he, along with Michael Kelly, and they're back in the lineup, and boy, does that make a difference.
Yeah, it's really obvious. It's painfully obvious probably for the Boxers. Weymouth is controlling the line of scrimmage, and we said that's going to be the key to the game.
1st and 10 from the Boxer 41. Keresy in motion. Shannon. Swing out to Keresy, have him go one-on-one, and Steve trying to just go upfield and cannot as he gets about a yard on the play. And Boxers read that quite well. Ben Riggin comes over and makes the tackle.
In this day and age of cable stations, you know, both teams know the other team's plays, and Weymouth used that successfully last week, and looked like Brockton was looking for it there. They read that nicely, come up and stuffed it.
You know, you love to do a piece. A newspaper would be wise to do a piece on this day and age of cable, and the fact that all the, you know, the coaches, not just football, but other sports, you know, looking in on other towns and see what's going on, and it's a great scouting weapon. Shannon. Well, Phil Reardon makes a nice play, but John Keenan just didn't look up, and if John Keenan looked up, he could have possibly gone after the football. It would have been a great catch if he did get it.
Yeah, that was a tip ball. He would have been a miraculous catch, actually, as he was heading in one direction, the ball was heading in the other.
I'm still wondering, you know, where are those two limousines? And we're going to try to get a shot of them. Whose limousines are they? They came driving in just before kickoff.
About 8 for Weymouth for a first down.
And I know they aren't ours. 3rd down and 9 for the Wildcats. Shannon puts Ward on the other side. Keresy on the toss pitch. Keresy to the 36. Short of a first down, and be 4th and 5 as Alan Bursey makes the tackle.
Keresy runs right, brought down by Bursey, number 81 of Brockton.
You know, 4th down, and Wildcats. Don't be surprised. Michael Taylor in the lineup. You're going to see the quick kick.
4th and about 6 to go for Weymouth.
And the Boxers take a timeout.
Call for a timeout.
5:39 to go in the first half. 7-0 Wildcats. Cheerleaders look on, and they're trying to keep warm like the rest of us.
I wouldn't mind being in that Wildcat uniform today, Mark.
Oh, man. It's probably the warmest situation. 4th and 5. And a lot of jumping, but Taylor will quick kick it away. And a good kick by Michael. Oh, what a roll. Scott Gerard falls on it at the 3.
We have a quick kick by Weymouth. Right,
excellent call.
Is down.
Because Wildcats want to keep the Boxers pinned up. And field position has not been the Boxer ally in this game.
Mark, you're exactly right. And I mean, that's a great call and well executed. You know, it's a cool day. Taylor take a couple steps to his right. It doesn't get any better than that. Expected your voice to go up an octave there, Mark.
He's probably trying to unthaw out right now.
I noticed you got an icicle hanging from your nose.
Now I know what the guys on the pro football games feel like when they go out to Denver. Corey Montero trying to break it outside as he got loose, and Corey Montero almost gets outside. Michael Taylor brings him down.
Yeah, he did a lot of running, but most of it was sideways there.
For Ontario, the ball carrier brought down by Mike Taylor after a gain of about 6.
6 yards for Corey. 2nd down and 4. 5 minutes to go in the first
3
half.
yards to go on the 10-yard line of Brockton.
Believe me, I apologize at times if we dip down because we are point blank freezing up here, and it's just bringing the game, and it's oof.
You're a martyr. You really are.
Straight ahead for very little gain. First time the Boxers have used the fullback, and that being Randy Wilson.
The defense continues to attack the ball and stuff it up. They look sharp. Of course, you're a martyr, but you're also a modest martyr, Mark. I mean, here you are. You're running the camera, calling the game. You're doing the graphics. You're going to be back there sacrificing your Thanksgiving to edit this thing and get it on the air. I half expected to see you working the sideline camera, too, the other day.
Can't get down there that fast.
You'll find a way.
Put it this way, right now, it would be the running back and forth wouldn't be bad. Keep warm, 3rd and 1. Randy Wilson shows some nice running ability, getting the first down. As maybe, let's see if he did get the first down. We're going to measure. Now, first down Boxers.
Actually, let's give the credit to who's working the sideline camera. Bob Tahosky down there, and Del Ketchum doing a fine job.
They're bringing you the pictures from that vantage point. They're moving up and down the field. We ought to request for a heater up here from the town. I mean,
well, you've earned it, Mark. So there's shiver in your voice.
Velios, about 3 fakes in trouble. Velios dropped by Dearden and Bonacolto. You talked about Rich Dearden on that kickoff coverage like a missile. He was just heat-seeking missile looking for the target. Right there, he and Bob Bonacolto were like a pair of heat-seeking missiles.
The pair of them are playing possessed here today, and that's what you need on Thanksgiving. You got to summon up the desire, the courage, and get it done. And so far, Weymouth has just, they've dominated.
7-0 Wildcats. Quite conceivably, they could be leading by a great deal more. Second down, and, well, Boxers want to take a timeout.
Brockton calls for another timeout.
2:49 till half. Wildcats leading by a touchdown. 2:49 to go in the first half. Second down for the Boxers. They need to get it to the 25 from their own 6. And it has been all Wildcats so far. As they lead 7-0, and they have done the job. Velios tries to run the draw, and Randy Wilson gets smoked at about the 4. Chuck Mackey and Doug Vinitsky just would not bite on the draw.
Wilson, the ball carrier, brought down by...
And I think you're going to see the Wildcats start spending some timeouts in just a moment.
Yeah, they've got them pinned back here, and if they can come up with another score, they'll be in fantastic shape for the second half. 3rd down, 20, and I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised the Wildcats didn't go to a timeout after that last play. Michael Kelly is not going to let Corey Montero go anywhere. Michael Kelly just came off the ball and just grabbed Corey Montero, and now the Wildcats do want a timeout with 1:53 left and leading 7-0.
Weymouth calls for a timeout.
Oh, is it cold here at Legion Field? But Thanksgiving Day, one of the great days.
I mean, this is, you know, this is why they play the game, Mark. Brockton was supposed to be a slight favorite in this one, but it's been all Weymouth so far.
Alan Bursey to punt.
Kersey and Taylor are back anticipating the punt.
And Bursey lines one out. Great Brockton roll. Michael Taylor better get away from it, or else the Boxers get great field position. Bursey got the roll to the 47, 141. for the Wildcats to move 47 yards.
Down on the 47-yard line of Brockton. Weymouth will take over, 1st and 10.
That punt was in the air for about 2 seconds, went the distance of about 20 yards in the air, and Brockton got a fantastic roll. Still, anytime you can take over on the opposing side's
50
side of the 50, yeah, you're looking good.
Draw play, Keresy. Good hole from the right side of the line. Ryan Casey and Michael Kelly just opened up a hole that you could have driven a truck through, as Noel Gordine made the tackle at the 34-yard line, and the Wildcats hurry-up offense. That was one of the plans the day before, and now the timeout Boxers, is they don't like the fact that the Wildcats are hurrying up with 1:30 left, and the Wildcats trying to punch one in. Wildcats forcing the Boxers into the timeout, as the Boxers didn't like the fact that the Wildcats went to the hurry-up offense. Shannon, dump off on the screen, nearly intercepted, and Larry Stroud could have gone 60 yards the other way and put the Boxers to within 1.
Yeah,
Mark, you're exactly right. On the other hand, if it gets over his head, Weymouth had a nice screen set up there, and that would have gone for big yardage for them.
I'll tell you, Larry Stroud just looked up, and there the football was, and I think Shannon thought he had gotten it over his head.
Stroud's all taped off. It's a cold day, and you know, maybe on a warmer one he makes that interception.
Draw, Keresy gets it to the 31, and the Wildcats will have a 3rd and 7 situation coming up.
Keresy runs left of the line, brought down by 3.
1:14, the clock ticking away. The Wildcats do have time and plenty of timeouts. The fact of the matter is they got to come up with the play here on 3rd down. Shannon, play action. Caught! And a 1st down at the 16, and then fumbled. And Brockton football, as Sean Keenan got stripped and Ben Riggin recovers.
Mark, he made a phenomenal play going back to get that ball, and he took a hit and popped free. Nothing to be ashamed of there. You know, it's a cold day. That's going to happen. You got to expect that today. There's going to be big plays both sides with 51 seconds, so that's the time you want that to happen.
Boy, the Boxers have come up with 2 big defensive plays in this game. And we'll see how the Boxers play this final 51 seconds. Svelios airing it deep, intercepted. Rich Dearden with a convoy. Richie Dearden to the 20-yard line, and a 1st down for the Wildcats. And you talk about a convoy. I thought he outran his convoy heading upfield.
Thank you very much, says Ricky. Dearden drops back into coverage, and Velios again thrown against the wind, which was swirling, and it hung up there. Dearden looked like he was making a fair catch. He was so open under that ball. Nice job of corralling it, charging back downfield.
Similar situation to what we had in the 1st quarter when the Wildcats were able to punch it in after the Pat O'Toole interception. Is Shannon will dump it, and caught by Ward at the 13, and a marker down.
Shannon threw that with a man draped all over his back.
And let's see what the marker is. Very few penalties on the Wildcats.
Penalties against Weymouth for an ineligible receiver.
Ineligible receiver downfield. That hurts. And the Wildcats will be hit with a penalty. Apparently, somebody on the formation was lined up wrong.
Mark, we said earlier that the big plays are going to be a key, and the line play, and so far, the Weymouth line has dominated, and they've come up with the big plays when they've needed them as well. It's going to take a big play to punch one in here.
Especially the way this wind is, as the wind picks up again. Draw play. Keresy met by Stroud. Stroud read it and just slammed Keresy to the turf. And timeout on the field. And
you very rarely see Keresy get hit that solidly. Well, that was a great pop by Stroud. Keresy, however, kind of went with it, rolled over, and still picked up some nice yardage.
Procedure on the Wildcats. I think the Boxers will refuse it.
Penalty is against Weymouth for illegal procedure.
And the Wildcats killing themselves with penalties. As Boxers do take the penalty.
First and 20 for Weymouth on the 30-yard line.
Bitterly cold day at Legion Field.
I'm putting it mildly.
Ooh.
Frigid.
Shannon. Dump off. Keresy trying to turn the corner, and Steve will be dumped by Patrick Felios. 16 seconds left, and the Wildcats, and now they'll take the timeout with 12 seconds left. 7-0 Wildcats.
Brought down by
In the first half.
Third down for the Wildcats as they need 20. Shannon deep over the middle, caught by Ward. Roy inside the 10 and down to the 9 as we're having some technical difficulties. Timeout Wildcats, 4 seconds left. As Weymouth High will go for the field goal. Mike Taylor will try from 26 yards out, and he drills it. Unfortunately, we have some technical difficulties as you look at the scoring for the first half. A Shannon McGill touchdown pass and a Taylor field goal. 10-0 Wildcats at halftime.
I think I would be more surprised to see like a 7-0 game or something like that. I just don't think either team is going to stop the other that quickly. I think it's going to be a case that both teams will score a lot of points. It's just a case of which team has the ball at the end and can get that last touchdown.
That was the case. Thanksgiving Day, 1991, Weymouth and Brockton facing each other for the first time on the holiday in 20 years. And Weymouth had the early success story. Pickoff Mark Hartzell passes and turned them into touchdowns. Joe Donovan with that pickoff. It would lead to Keith Williams' first of 3 touchdowns in the game, as Weymouth would push out to a 21-0 lead on the favored Boxers as they put all sorts of pressure on Hartzell. The result, interceptions. J.J. Chella's interception sets up Keith Williams. And the Wildcats 21-0, and Keith Williams was surprised by the lead.
I figured the game, they would get up 21-0, but I never thought that we'd get up 21-0, but we did. We hung in there and played them tough, came out on top.
The Wildcats did hang tough in this game. They took everything that Brockton could dish out at them, as Lamarley would score 3 times and lead the Boxers from 21-0 down to 27-21 ahead in the 4th quarter. But this Wildcat team never, ever quits, as Weymouth High would come back with a last-minute heroic drive. Mark Stanton begins it with this long pass to Keith Struzeri, who makes a remarkable catch. And the Wildcats are able to push it towards the Brockton end zone with another big play. 4th down and 12. The screen pass across field to J.J. Chella by Stanton. 1st and goal at the 3 with 14 seconds left. And Keith Williams once again finds the end zone. Michael Taylor will add the extra point as Weymouth rallies to defeat Brockton 28-27, and as Keith Williams put it, desire was the reason that Weymouth won.
think it was our desire to win. We came in the game knowing that we can win it, and our mind was on it. No way we was going to lose that game. No doubt in my mind. I knew we was going to win even when they took the lead. I knew that we'd come out on top.
Touchdown. You get it? Was there any concern as fact that if Keith doesn't make it?
That's another one of those plays. We ran the same play against Quincy, Mark, and we didn't make the point after. You know, as a coach, you have a play you like, and I like that play. I like the idea of running your best back behind your best lineman, at that point, Danny was doing a great job, and we thought Bailey, their good tackle, was on the other side, so we just decided to run it. It's just, you know, you can second guess it if we don't make it, but on the other hand, you could second guess everything, I guess, and that was a play we like to run. We ran it during the entire game, and I thought Keith ran very hard, and Keith, this was his day. I didn't think he'd be denied. That's why we called it.
The year.
I would have rather lost everybody just to beat them Thanksgiving. It was so good. To beat them, they came in flying like they had nothing to worry about, and then he went out losing.
That was like the best game ever. The best game ever played, and like a lot of people say it's the best game ever seen. Like, we had fun. Brockton was real tough.
That was a great game. Probably one of the best games ever played, Legion Field, and yeah, our kids came to play, and that was the difference.
With Leo Doyle and Mark Ducharme, and if we had problems towards the tail end of the first half, and we apologize if we did. Michael Taylor drilling a field goal from 26 yards out, and boy did he drill that field goal straight through the uprights. It was good from about 40 yards, and it's unfortunately this cold weather times it is very brutal.
Playing havoc with the equipment, Mark.
Oh man,
that wasn't a human error. Yeah, like we were saying, Taylor, Brockton's got to be wondering, when is this kid going to graduate?
Taylor drives it. Gordine will defer to Bursey. Bursey trying to turn the corner. Excellent coverage. Rich Dearden once again, as he had been a ball of fire on special teams.
Oh yeah, then he's up and out. I am here, and I'm here to stay. I'm here to play. Great job. We said in the first half that, you know, the game is going to be decided on the line. Weymouth controlled the line, moved the ball. We said big plays are going to be a key. The 2 interceptions led to the 10 points. So if Weymouth can keep it up for another 22 minutes, they're going to come out of here. It'll be a happy Thanksgiving.
First and 10 Boxers at their own 25 as they go to the triple I formation. Something they unveiled 2 years ago here at Legion Field with success. As Velios trying to keep. Velios 30. Velios, good running room. Velios breaking it down the near sidelines. Patrick Velios is finally going to be brought down in Weymouth territory at the Wildcat 38. The first Boxer gain of any kind in this one.
You're exactly right, Mark. I don't know if your camera followed the first back through, but I know a high percentage of the Weymouth tacklers did.
And the Wildcat defense this year, let's meet them individually.
Let's meet the 1993 Weymouth High defensive unit, which has been very tough to move the ball against at times this year and very tough to score on. Defensive end Ryan Casey has a fumble recovery with his 50 tackles. Chuck Mackey leads the team in sacks with 2.5, 63 tackles for the senior defensive end. Mike Kelly blocked a punt for a safety against Barnstable. His best game came against Silver Lake, 9 tackles. Bob Bonacolto, 10 tackles against North Quincy. He had a tremendous game against the Red Raiders. Doug Vinitsky's best all-around performance came against Bridgewater Raynham. He'll alternate at nose tackle with Dan Steele, who also had an outstanding game against BR. Jimmy Pasciuto will be an alternate defensive end. He will spell both Ryan Casey and Chuck Mackey. Brian Scott, another great year at linebacker. 89 tackles, second on the team to Matt Gill, as the senior linebacker leads the team in tackles. Cornerback Roy Ward, 20 unassisted tackles of those 55 tackles he has made during the season. And Mike Taylor, despite missing a game, leads the team in unassisted tackles with 26. Rich Dearden from a safety position, 73 tackles for the senior. And he will be joined in the defensive backfield by Jimmy Gagnon, the sophomore, 62 tackles, 2 pass interceptions, the biggest one against Falmouth. Pat O'Toole's interception was a big one against Taunton. It led to a Wildcat touchdown. And Jay Wilson, 13 tackles, and he will be in the defensive backfield as well. 4 more performers to give you 4 seniors who have done outstanding jobs on special teams. Mike DeVincentis just covers kicks like a wild man. He is all over the field and covering kicks. Scott Englund as well has been dominant on special teams. Jeff Joy on kick return and kick coverage teams has done the job, as has Mike Akabachi, as the Wildcat special teams have been tough throughout the season.
Corey Montero. Brockton's come out and quickly gone after the Wildcats with 2 excellent plays.
Wildcats played with great desire and emotion in the first half. They got to summon up that emotion right here.
2nd down and 3. Velios, keeper, Velios, and he will have the first down at the 28. And all of a sudden the Boxers on one play have come to life.
Yeah, that was a huge play, Mark. He got around the outside, and then he broke some tackles, and he made some moves, and you know, big gainer like that, it can swing the momentum.
1st and 10 from the 28-yard line, and the Boxers just going to come out and just try to smash the Wildcats. As Montero stood up at the line, Mike Kelly and Brian Scott do the job, along with Ryan Casey, as the 3 just teamed up and made the play.
I can no longer feel my toes. Oh, no. Yeah, there they are. There they are.
Oh, it is unbelievable. People left at halftime. They were just that cold, and, you know.
Clearly saying, let that sap Mark Duchamp tape it. We'll watch it after the dinner.
That's about it.
You know?
Montero, or check it, Velios and the keeper faked out everybody, and then Velios got rolled at about the 23, gains 4, as Mike Kelly and Jimmy Gagnon with the play, and Velios, who can handle the ball quite well, does there.
Yeah, very deceptive coming out of that formation.
Third and 5.
Mark, you going to go back and edit this and have it ready about what time?
7:30.
7:30. You're incredible. You're going to stop at McDonald's and get a McTurkey witch or what?
That's about it. Velios on 3rd and 5, trying to keep it.
Oh.
Man! Says hello!
How you doing? Boom!
Oh my, you talk about a hit to liven up a team, and Patrick Velios is shaken up.
Oh my, Mark.
He's looking for the Brockton Authority Transit bus that just hit him. Oh my, what a hit.
There's an ambulance here, and he may get some work. That was a shot.
Oh.
Hello. That, you're exactly right. That livened up the sideline. It livened up the crowd, and I think both of us went into a prepubescent squeal there. That was a hit and a half.
4th and 9. Velios lost 4, and Velios nearly lost more than 4.
He almost lost his head.
Oh, what a hit. Wilson, the only back behind Velios, who will throw. Caught! And down to the 1 is Noel Gordine. 1st and goal, Boxers, and the Wildcats make the big play defensively on 3rd down, but don't on 4th down.
Oh, Mark, I mean, 2 heavyweights toe-to-toe. You hit me, and I come right back, and Velios, you know, makes a huge play. He got popped big time on the play before, dropped back in the pocket, and threw a strike. That is big.
And 1st and goal, Boxers. The Boxers have come out and taken the second half kickoff and have marched it down the field. Corey Montero stood up at about the 1-foot line as the Boxers. Talk about coming out of the Wildcats. They've done just that to begin the second half.
Talk about it being a heavyweight fight. I mean, it looked like Weymouth had a knockout blow and swing of momentum back and forth, back and forth. First half was all Weymouth. So far here, it's been a little give and take. With Brockton getting the upper hand.
Give credit to Patrick Velios just to come back. Montero, touchdown. Boxers, get on the board. Corey Montero from a yard out. It's Corey Montero just going in from 1 yard out, and the Boxers are on the board with 5:53 to go, third period.
You're exactly right, Mike. I mean, that's, you know, you're not going to keep a team like Brockton down all game. They come out with fire in their eyes, drove the length of the field. See how Weymouth responds.
And see what the Boxers do on this conversion attempt. And they will go for the 2. Alan Bursey, who was their kicker a year ago, and in fact it is now going to be just a situation where Bursey has not had the great success this year. And Velios to throw for the 2. And a great catch by Phil Reardon. 10-8, and he comes up and he just shoved Jimmy Gagnon. Nothing called, but the Boxers get on the board with a second half drive to start.
Good coverage by Gagnon there, but a perfect toss by Velios.
10-8, Brockton trailing Weymouth, 5:53 to go, third period. Brockton High takes the second half kickoff and marches it down the field for the touchdown. And credit 2 big plays by Patrick Velios. Those were the key to that drive. It was Velios with an outstanding throw to Noel Gordine to set up the touchdown after getting just steamrolled by Rich Dearden. Alan Bursey, Michael Taylor. Couple of great moves. Taylor trying to break it. Taylor to the Brockton 44 and a first down. Oh, Michael Taylor nearly broke it. And against Quincy this year, he almost broke one, but Taylor that time just took off on the line drive kick.
Mark, he caught that in stride, found a hole, bounced off a couple tackles, and that's exactly what Weymouth needed after a big drive by Brockton. Weymouth now, super field position.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line of the Boxers. The Wildcats go to the ground, and Kerosy gets stood up. Excellent defense by the Boxers. Alan Bursey makes the tackle as the Boxers just bottle up the middle of the Weymouth offensive line, as Mike Baker also there. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Wildcats. Five minutes, 15 seconds, clock ticking away here, third quarter, and the Wildcats trying to bounce back after the Boxers came down and scored one on them. Shannon dump off over the middle to Chuck Mackey. Gets him inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line, and it's 2 yards short of a first down.
That's a nice gainer, though.
I credit Patrick Velios for just even staying in the game.
Yeah, he, like you said, he was the man on that drive with his big run and a super toss.
I thought Rich Dearden might have taken the starch out of him. Kerosy takes the pitch. Baker with a nifty defensive play. Baker from behind just grabs Steve Kerosy. And the Wildcats will go 3 plays and out to begin the second half after the great kick return by Michael Taylor.
We've seen, we saw Weymouth playing with that fire and desire and attacking the ball from all angles, and that's the way Brockton's come out here in the second half.
4:05 to go, and Taylor would like to put it inside, and Taylor gets the low snap, and well, he pooches it. And it takes the roll back, and Rich Dearden, who else in special teams today? Boxers get it at their 20-yard line, as that ball looked like it was going to come up the sidelines a little farther than it did. It took a bounce back. I'll tell you how bad the weather is. Even the public address, and you hear Peter Visignano in the background. They had a little problem with that.
Mark, what's Weymouth got to do here?
I think it's a situation where you got to go 3 plays and out, and I mean, it's simple, basic situation. You got to get your feeling back that you can stop the Boxers, and Scott and company trying to, and Corey Montero saying, no, you're not going to do it that easily. Corey Montero getting a big run, and the Boxers have come out fired up here in the second half as Montero gets 18.
Yeah, they're using the sleight of hand there. Ran the option, but the first back through, and they let him go through. It was a nice fake by Velios.
3:43 left third quarter, 10-8 Weymouth. Velios, pitch back, and it's Montero again. Matt Gill, no, he will not let him turn the corner. And the leading Wildcat tackler does the job.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He's the leading tackler, and you can see why there. He wasn't fooled a bit. He come up and made a nice hit. He had 98 coming into this game, and he certainly added to that today.
Corey Montero loses 2 in the play, but get back to the point, and I might have dodged out a little the quick 3 plays and out statement. But the fact of the matter is, it's just reestablishing what you're doing on the line of scrimmage. You were aggressive. You were coming at the Boxers. Now you got to beat your blocks again. You got to beat them for 44 minutes. There's a screen to Gordine. Oh, Richie Dearden. Hello, Richie Dearden. What a game he is playing.
Mark, you need people to step up, and Dearden's been there all season, but he's brought it up another notch here today. And that play went nowhere.
Like a man possessed today.
He's been a demon out there, and that's what you need.
Every time the Boxers turn around, Richie Dearden's been in their face.
Here's a huge third down situation. They picked up a big 4th down on their scoring drive. Weymouth really needs to stop here.
3rd down and 14. Velios. Deep over the middle, and there's Gordine, and he's trouble. Gordine will be brought it down at the 39 of Weymouth by Mike Taylor. But Noel Gordine has been getting open on the post pattern, and Patrick Velios has been getting him the football.
Yeah, the wind's kind of settled down, and Velios has had a little more time back there to pick out his receivers.
But you got to credit the Brockton senior quarterback. Right now, he is stepping it up. Wildcats are making plays, but Patrick Velios is coming up with an answer for each Weymouth play. Toss pitch. And getting good yardages for the Boxers is Don Martin, his first carry.
Exactly. Velios had 2 interceptions that led to the Weymouth points in the first half, and he's not gun shy at all. He's still back there putting it up. Like I said, the wind has, for the beginning of this quarter anyway, settled down a bit, and he's firing strikes.
2nd and 5 for the Boxers. Don Martin again, trying to push the pile. Martin does, flag down. Boxers could have been called for holding, as that's where the flag was thrown by the line judge. Chuck Mackey grabbed him from behind. Holding Brockton.
Yeah, he got in behind that big offensive line and got lost.
thing we've got to point out in Thanksgiving Day game, it's very few penalties.
Yeah, well-played game. No, nothing dirty, nothing cheap. Smart, focused football. Two heavyweights slugging it out. Players trying to get the crowd into it a little bit here, but it's some people sitting on their hands just to keep them warm.
Second down and 15, and the Wildcats trying to hold on here, leading 10-8. Boxers took the second half kickoff and just marched it. And Patrick Velios doing the orchestration. He has been the key player in this game for the Boxers. Velios on the pressure, and Mackey's got him and drops him. Back at midfield, Chuck Mackey's third sack of the season. As Chuck Mackey just would not be denied, he just kept stringing the play out and just dropped.
Mark, we know Velios is tricky. He's been in that situation here today where he's dropped back and faked a pass and got around, eluded the rush for a gainer, but Mackey was having none of it.
33 minutes have been completed here at Legion Field. The dance team unfortunately could not get on the field for their performance at halftime, and well, they'll try to entertain the crowd.
An award-winning dance team, by the way, too.
Fourth quarter will begin with the Wildcats leading 10-8.
It is said that you should throw out the records on Thanksgiving Day, and Thanksgiving Day 1992 between Weymouth and Brockton High is a prime example, as the 3-6 Wildcats, with some superb defense, made life miserable for the 8-1 Boxers of Brockton High, and the Wildcats went to the bag of tricks to get the offense going, as Manny Fernandez on this reverse would set up Mike Taylor's first of two short touchdown runs, as Taylor would score from a yard out and then kick the point after, and Weymouth would lead 7-0 after 1 quarter of play. The Wildcats by no means were done. In fact, their fans had good reason to smile. Late in the first quarter, Lynn Campbell falls on this errant Mike Shaheen pitch, and the Wildcats go 34 yards for their second touchdown of the game, as the key play in this touchdown drive that would finish off in the second quarter will be this third down dump-off pass by Mark Stanton to tight end Jimmy Taylor, who takes it down to the Boxer 1. Jimmy Taylor sets up his brother Michael for his second score of the game, 14-0. The heavily underdog Wildcats with the lead. But the favored Boxers come back, as Mike Shaheen, one of the few passes he would complete on the day, it would set up this Michael Bourne touchdown run, as Bourne 170 yards rushing. He scores from 14 yards out, gets the two-point conversion, and the Boxers trail the Wildcats 14-8 at halftime. Second half, Brockton High goes on a long touchdown drive that concludes with this Bourne touchdown run. Alan Bursey kicks the point after 15-14. Brockton with the lead after 3. Weymouth High tries valiantly to come back in the fourth quarter. 2 times they have opportunities to score, but come up empty, as Mark Stanton's pass to Illy Pierce goes by the wayside on fourth down, and then Michael Bourne puts some distance between the Boxers and the Wildcats with this 68-yard touchdown run. 21-14, Brockton with the lead. That would be the final score, as the Wildcats, one last opportunity, Stanton to Illy Pierce, but Pierce is stripped the football by Troy Semper, who recovers it. Boxers go on to a 21-14 win. As Brian Scott says, the Wildcats were really a 3-7 team.
3-7. It doesn't really. We weren't really 3-7. I mean, we lost 7 games. We won 3, but really we could have won more, and we came out, on the short end a couple of times. But to go down and prove a point by playing Brockton and playing them that well, I think, made a statement.
Talk about that statement.
Well, it says, I think just to go down into Brockton on a cold, wet, rainy day, a 3-7 record. I mean, we don't have anything to play for except our pride. It says something about the town. It says that, hey, we might not be the best, but we're going to go down and we'll give you the best we got.
with Leo Doyle and Mark Duchamp.
Magic Mark Duchamp.
10-8. Final quarter about to emerge here at Legion Field, and the scoreboard clock not operating because I guess there's some power failure, and that is why the delay to begin the fourth quarter.
The clock is not operating from up here.
And Peter Pizzignano on the public address says the clock is not operating up here. And I think what they might do is just keep the time on the field and let the coaches know that way until they can get this situation straightened out. Wildcats.
I was just going to say the beauty of high school football, Mark. You know, it's a cold day, but the parents and the diehards have stuck it out, and you know, they've seen a great game so far.
That they have. 10-8 Weymouth as this fourth quarter just about to begin.
22 yards to go on the 50-yard line.
So far, the Boxers have used Patrick Velios throwing the post pattern to Noel Gordine to get them out of tough situations.
Yep, here he goes.
Screen. Dump off, it's it's going to be Randy Wilson. And Wilson almost breaking loose, and Randy Wilson down to the 34-yard line, and Randy Wilson almost just shot up the middle and got the first down, but it sets up a 4th and 6.
Mark, that was a nice call. Something that Weymouth hasn't seen here today. He's been taking that deep drop and going over the middle. The Wildcats shot through the line like a jailbreak, but it was setting up the screen, and a nice big gain for the Boxers.
Boxers will spend the timeout, 10:31 left, and the Wildcats trying to come up with the stop here. Well, 4th down and 6. What do you think the Boxers will call on 4th and 6? The key plays so far in the second half has been Patrick Velios throwing the deep post pattern to Noel Gordine, and also the fact that Velios has run the option quite well.
Yeah, Mark, that gives them different weapons, and big play.
Velios pump fakes under pressure, and he'll just gun it deep downfield. Touchdown, Noel Gordine, but it's going to come back because the Boxers should be called for holding. There's a flag back upfield. There's a flag upfield. No personal foul. Weymouth. Touchdown, Brockton. Touchdown, Brockton.
Mark, the field is in the best possible shape it can be. But Weymouth back there in the defense, and a slip and a fall. It looked like it might have been an interception. At the very least, a ball batted down turns into a touchdown for the Boxers.
Jimmy Gagnon, tough situation, but I saw the flag back upfield, and I saw the official just signal personal foul on Weymouth. And the thing was, Leo, in looking at the play, I looked back at it, I thought they were going to nail Randy Wilson for a hold because Michael Kelly was about to come crashing in on Patrick Velios, and all of a sudden there was a grab of Kelly's shirt.
Yeah, I mean, there's a play you can't fault anyone. Good coverage, not bad pressure. A fluke, really.
Yep. Agree with it. That was a tough break. 10:23 left. And now we are sooner or later going to have the point after, as the officials take care of business. The Boxers have had 2 possessions this half and scored them both. And all sorts of confusion as far as that goes, as far as truly goes. I lost sight of the ball. Noel Gordine gets smothered, and the Wildcats hang on and trail now for the first time, 14-10.
Fooled you, Mark, but didn't fool the Wildcats. They stuck right with the ball and buried them. Big stop.
As Brockton High goes for the touchdown on an 80-yard drive, and the Boxers just doing their thing with Patrick Velios getting the long touchdown pass. And well, you talk about a tale of 2 halves. That's what we have had. Alan Bursey, after the personal foul was ruled, and Bursey's kick will go out of the end zone. So the Wildcats will have 10:23 to answer the 2 Brockton touchdowns.
The ball will be brought out to the 20-yard line for Weymouth, first and 10.
As first down Wildcats.
The 50-50 ticket number 1424.
As the Wildcats will break out. Trailing for the first time. They go to the ground, and it's Kerosene getting it out to about the 24, 25-yard line. Mike Shreve makes the tackle, but talk about the difference in the 2 halves. And the situation, you knew Brockton was going to make a run. But the fact of the matter is the Boxers made the run with a little bit of fortune on the touchdown pass that we just saw. That looked like Jimmy Gagnon had the interception all lined up.
Right now they're playing with a little more confidence, a little more bounce in their step.
And Weymouth just trying to power their way upfield. Roy Ward gets it out to about the 28-yard line, setting up a 3rd and 2.
Weymouth's not going to change anything. There's plenty of time left on the clock. They know what they have to do. They know what's successful for them, and that's pounding the football.
Wildcats dominated the first half. Second half, the Boxers have done their thing and done it quite well. And let's see if saw a bunch of Boxers heading to the sidelines. I thought they were calling timeout and just mass substitutions for Coach Armin Colombo's team. 3rd, and they'll give it a yard for a first down for Weymouth. Roy Ward, first down and more. Landers, Gordine, and company just stood him up. And Mike Taylor says, you know, to the official, sir, Roy Ward was getting pounded in the line. You're blowing the whistle, and he's still getting pounded.
But Ward picked up a first down in the first half on that same play. He slipped, but picked up the first down. Here he stays on his feet for a nice gain.
8:50 to go. The Wildcats, first time they have found themselves down in this one. 14-10 Boxers. So Boxers have come up with 2 big plays here in this second half. Shannon on the bootleg. Dump off, and Scott doesn't hang on, and Brian would have had room to run.
Nice play fake there by Shannon. Got some of the Boxers to bite, and Scott was open. Day like today, not surprising, however.
Second down and 10. 8:33.
Mark's got some female admirers looking for an autograph here. He's a little distracted.
I'm trying to find. Terry Moore runs the dance team, and Linda Bertolino runs the cheerleaders. And I don't know, is a marker down, I think a face mask on the Boxers. As Michael Taylor got 7 on the play. Face mask. Is it a personal foul face mask? That's the question. If it's just a simple, oops, I grabbed the face mask, 5 yards. And if it's a nasty face mask, which is somebody just meaning that they want to grab and slam you to the turf.
Who's the 5?
It's a 5. From the 47-yard line.
Again, this is William Perry, who's making donations for the Bears Soccer Back.
Shannon, about 3 different fakes, in trouble. Incomplete. Alan Bursey on the coverage of Roy Ward, and nobody had the football, and Roy Ward just gets up after a little bit of push-shove.
A little extracurricular. Ward got up and
Roy Ward
took a pop for no apparent reason, but you know, the officials don't want to decide this one. They're going to let the boys play.
Second and 10 coming up. 8:06 left. 14-10, Brockton.
Second and 10 for Weymouth on the 47-yard line.
Wildcats just trying to do the things that they were successful with in the first half. I mean, they had great success just moving the football. But just when push came to shove and getting it in the end zone, they made big mistakes. A 4th and 1 at the 5 and a couple of turnovers. And I don't know, the clock is, I'll tell you after this play, as it's complete. Matt Gill gets about 7 yards of the play, but Leo, I happened to look over at the clock because I was going to see how much time was left, and that was an incomplete pass to play before. As a Wildcat shaken up, we'll take a break, but the clock started just before the play began. So I'll try to figure that one out when we come back with 7:45 left. 3rd and 3 for the Wildcats. I don't know why the clock is running, folks. Apparently, the injury timeout. Shannon has his pass knocked down. Intended for Matt Gill as a good defensive play by the Boxers. As 18, Phil Reardon makes the play, and the Wildcats will punt the football away. And now I was looking at the clock, and the clock has started twice after timeout situations, which surprises me. And Taylor just getting it over an outstretched Brockton hand. Larry Stroud came over the top and almost made a nice play. But the Boxers had terrible field position throughout the day, but the fact of the matter is, the second half, they have done the job.
Once again, I'll state the obvious, which is basically all I do here anyway, Mark, but, you know, the Wildcats really need a big stand here defensively. They got to come out here and hopefully get some field position for their offense, and at the very least get that ball back without a score.
7:07 left. Patrick Velios, dump off. Noel Gordine, who's been a factor here in the second half. Gordine gets it out to about the 22-yard line, and it's about a 4-yard gain, 5-yard gain, as Mark Gordine down at the 23.
Velios has really been the difference here in the second half. He wasn't quite as sharp in the first half, floated a few out there. Here he's really putting some zip on the ball, finding his receivers and moving the ball nicely.
I'll look back at the key play after Richie Dearden had just annihilated him. Patrick Velios, credit him for just stepping up and gunning a strike to Noel Gordine to set the first Brockton touchdown. And oh, what a defensive play. Guess who? Richie Dearden has made some plays in this game that have just been, it's a highlight film right now for him.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Mark. You know, well, the only thing he hasn't done is picked one off and run it back or recovered a fumble, but I wouldn't bet against it.
He did pick one off.
Not that I'm a gambling man.
He did pick one off and set up a field goal, but he'd love to, as you said, take it all the way. Third and 10.
This is where Brockton's been able to pick up the yardage when they need it.
Velios, pressure from Kelly, trying to hide from Casey, and Patrick Velios dumped out of bounds, and let's see where they mark it.
He's got it, Mark.
Ooh, what a play by Velios.
Once again, an individual effort, 2-3 shots at him. And he found a way. You know, the kid's a player. He's gutsy, and he's coming up with the effort.
It's almost a situation where Patrick Velios versus Rich Dearden. Right now, Patrick Velios has come up with one more play each time.
You can hear the crowd now starting to get into it. They realize it's that time of game.
Toss pitch. Martin dropped at about the 31 by Kelly and Gill. crowd trying to fire up the Wildcats, and they're making the plays. And the problem is Patrick Velios is one-upping them.
You're exactly right. They're getting them in long yardage situations on 3rd and 4th down, and Brockton is getting the job done.
The Boxers wanted this pound at the Wildcats. Velios in trouble getting away. Bursey can't get to the football, and he had Pat O'Toole a step behind him, and Alan Bursey, who's got great speed.
But once again, Velios steps out of a sack and almost throws a strike for a touchdown. I mean, that is a nice toss. You know, you can't give the kid enough credit. But the Weymouth defense doing a fine job as well. And once again, it's 3rd down, and it's time to step up and make a play. Who's it going to be, Mark?
He's been there all day, number 43. Seems to be there all day. But the one thing is, I mean, about it right now is the fact that they're letting the boys play. They are really just letting the boys play.
Yeah, it's been a great game to watch. It's been a little chilly, but probably the best game we've seen all year so far.
Velios looking to set up and run now. And he will not get away this time. Chuck Mackey is there, and Michael Kelly, and the two are there to make the play.
Yeah, Mackey finished him off, did a nice job of bringing him down. I think it might have been Ryan Casey got a piece of him to trip him up a little bit there.
Alan Bursey will be punting. 4-10.
That's what we're talking about, though. You know, it's the big play. Velios once again starts out, and if Mackey doesn't haul him down, he's got some room over there. So Weymouth did their job on defense. Gonna give the offense, looks like probably one more shot at it.
The Boxers go to the line, and everybody going back in the punt formation. The Wildcats looking like they're coming. And hold it. Bursey kicks it away, but we have whistles all over the place, blowing, flags. Down in.
I could use that hanky right now. Your nose is running like a sieve.
Let's see what happened. The call. Disregard the flag. Second time that's happened. And head coach Ross Tatora is going to get it explained to him. He's like, you know, wait a minute. We got back, and they kept moving.
Once again, like you said, Mark, they're letting the boys play, and unless it's a flagrant foul, it's not going to be called here. They're even picking them up off the ground, so let's see what we got.
Situation, as we said, okay, guys, play it.
That's the way you want it, and that's the way both coaches want it. That's the way both teams want it. Of course, maybe the officials just want to get out of here. That would be understandable as well.
Alan Bursey goes back now to punt formation. Just getting away was Bursey, and
drops, stops,
and Weymouth can't ask for better. 48-yard line up Brockton.
Set the players, getting the crowd going. Cold or not, this crowd is getting pumped.
3:33 left. Hang on, folks. We're going to have a good finish coming up.
It's a great group of seniors, Mark, and, you know, this is what it all comes down to this for them. Their seasons, their careers are reduced to one final drive.
Shannon, bootleg. And incomplete, intended for Chuck Mackey. Mackey gets tripped up on the play by Pat Velios, who gets up slowly.
A situation like this where they're letting them play might benefit the Boxers on defense here. There's a lot of clutching and grabbing going out there on the pass routes, a lot of bumping. So if Weymouth is going to get 6, they're going to really have to earn it.
2nd and 10. 3:28 left. Toss pitch, Keresy. Scott tries to throw the block. Keresy cannot turn the corner. Credit the Boxers defense and number 18, Phil Reardon, for making the outstanding play, as he just would not let Keresy turn the corner. 3rd and 12.
Keresy has produced all year. Not surprising they go to him in crunch time, but just could not get outside.
Shannon, play action. Shannon just floating it out there. Oh, what a catch by Roy Ward!
Mark, there's a flag down.
And I hope they don't call what I think they're going to call.
That is...
Roy Ward went back for the football.
Pick that flag up.
Roy Ward went back for the football. That is not a good call. That is not a good call.
Mark.
That is absolutely a terrible call.
You know, you're saying let him play, and the ball was up there. They were both going for it. You know, Ward didn't throw him down. He just went for the ball.
That's all he did. Oh, wow. That is a tough call.
Wow. I mean, there was contact both ways there, Mark. You know, he got bumped beforehand. He's fighting for the ball.
Oh, it's a situation, as you said, they're both going for the football. And let the boys play.
What do you do now, Mark? I mean, how do you bounce back from that?
It's 2 plays. It's 2 plays, believe me, for the Wildcats.
It's 2 big plays.
Definitely. They're going to have to get some yardage. Shannon. Complete. Ward. Who else? And then he gets drilled out of bounds by Reardon at the 45 of Brockton. It stops the clock, but the Wildcats get 16 of the 25 needed. And now it comes down to 4th and 7. And this group of seniors, it's been a gutsy group throughout the year. We have 2 out of 3 left to a race.
3rd and 28. They picked up a large chunk. But like we said, it's 2 plays and it's 2 big plays.
And they're going to sit over by Coach Kevin Cobbin and find out what he wants to do. 4th down, and they'll say 12. They'll mark it at the 49. Wildcats trying to make it happen. Shannon. Intercepted. Noel Gordine. Gordine just running around and then drilled at the 42 of Weymouth. And markers all over the place. And it's going to be on the return as the interception should stand. And let's make sure of that, because there have been some calls in the last few minutes that have been unquestionable as far as the result. Holding Brockton on the return, however. It is on the return. And now the Wildcats will just try to hack at the Boxer running backs and try to strip the football.
Weymouth has all their timeouts, so they may get another opportunity, but once again, they're going to be calling upon their defense to summon the strength to either get a turnover or stuff them. 3 and out.
And you look back to that Ward play, and you don't want to harp on it. It's a 1st down, if, you know, that the Ward reception is allowed.
Exactly right, Mark. I mean, that ball was up in the air. It's a jump ball. 2 guys going for it. Ward come up with it. You know, if that was intercepted, then it probably would have been interference, defensive interference. You know, it's just it's a tough call to make. You know, the officials have a tough job out there.
Corey Montero And he has stood up and dropped after about a yard gain, and you're going to see the timeouts coming. Coach Rostator is signaling, get that timeout call. 1:40 left. Boxers and the Wildcats going down to the wire again. Wildcat defense knows that they've got their hands full. They have got to stop the Boxers, as if they don't, they will see the season come to an end with a loss. And you know what's coming up here, just straight ahead handoffs. Montero gets about 4, maybe 5, and Pat O'Toole couldn't strip it out as far as the football goes, and the official goes down on the play. Timeout, Weymouth. 1:29 left. Boxers have a 3rd and 2 coming up. And the Weymouth defense, as the sun making an appearance, it's got to come up with a play. 3rd and 2.
Weymouth's going to need a little divine intervention here.
Velios, quarterback keeper, and Patrick, who's probably been the hero as far as the Boxers go.
Without a question. He come out in the second half and really set the tone with his run around the left side, and then been throwing vicious fastballs to his receivers.
His pitcher in baseball is Patrick, and he is going to be short of a first down. Not by much, and you get a feeling the Boxers will go for it on 4th down. Velios, 48% pass coming into this game. And Armin Colombo, I had the chance to talk to him prior to the game, made the comment. He says, if it wasn't for Patrick Velios, I don't know where we'd be right now. And seeing the Boxers on tape and seeing this game, I can concur with the head coach of the Boxers. He is one outstanding talent on the football field.
Yeah, looking at his numbers, Mark, they don't really tell you the whole story. He's a kid who makes things happen out of nothing, and clutch, really, is a word to describe the kid.
Alan Bursey goes in the punt formation. Now hang on, folks. Boxers have come out and tried to throw the change up to the Wildcats. And the sun baking down, and they're going to take the time. And there's the delay of game penalty on the Boxers, and the Wildcats have 48 seconds to make something happen. So Wildcats are in deep trouble unless they can block a punt, and they've done that a few times.
Just going to say, Mark took the words right out of my mouth. They know how to do that.
Michael Kelly and Doug Vanitsky have done that. Special teams, the Wildcats have been tough throughout the season. Oh, the sun baking down. I mean, it's like being in Aruba right now. Believe me, compared to what this game started with.
Do they have snow in Aruba?
Yeah, the sand stuff. Bursey just getting it away, and Kerosene just will watch it go over his head. And about the only good thing out of it is that Weymouth got a bounce. 40 seconds to go, 76 yards, and the Wildcats, well, we've seen miracles happen before in this matchup with Weymouth and Brockton.
24-yard line. in the middle.
It's going to take one.
The way the Boxers have played, the Boxers have done the job here in the second half. They've had some fortunes too. One little slip has been the difference. Shannon. Ward almost with a terrific catch. Roy had to look back and try to grab the football over the outstretched hands of the defensive back for the Boxers, Adam Porter.
35 ticks.
I can remember, what was it, 2 years ago? Boy, that would be nice to see it all over again. Because the Wildcats have just played magnificent football. Both teams have just been tough. John Keenan trying to break loose. Keenan to the 36-yard line, first down. It does stop the clock because the chains will be moved, and the Wildcats go to the hurry up.
Yep, there's a winner and there's a loser on the scoreboard, but there's no losers out there on the field today. They both teams have given it their all.
Shannon, who's played magnificently, and has his pass knocked down. 20 seconds left.
Pass intended for one, incomplete.
And, well, Shannon and company, one last time, just trying to make it happen.
Both Weymouth on the 37-yard line.
This team, and throughout the season, I got to thank the coaching staff, and they've been very accessible, and the players, and and all the fall sports have been very accessible, make life easy. As Keresy and the Wildcats try to cross up the Boxers, and it does stop the clock, and I think the Wildcats do have a timeout left. I did not think that they did. And they come over to offensive coordinator Kevin Cobbin to talk about it with 13 seconds left.
You're right, Mark. I mean, it's a great bunch of guys, and it's a great coaching staff. And first year coach, he's put a tough team on the field week in and week out. They've been in every single game for the most part. They're going up against a tough Brockton team here today. Fought them tooth and nail, and this one isn't over yet. There's 13 seconds left, and I haven't heard the fat lady sing.
No. They could use a big play. They're 52 yards away from the end zone and 13 seconds to go.
And desire and emotion has been here on both sides of the ball. It's been a phenomenal game. A super time. Can't feel my toes. Don't think I have any fingers. But it really has been fun.
Shannon. Intercepted Ben Regan. And he is dropped at the 47, and the Boxers will come to Weymouth and win. 4 seconds to go, and the Boxers will hang on, and they will knock off the Wildcats, and the Wildcats just cannot. You talk about a team that at times this season, if they ever had luck, it would be tough luck. And this team has had that this year. They've done a lot of things well, Leo. And, and the thing is, you look back at the Bridgewater game and look back here today, and even the Plymouth game, just some great opportunities. And this team just could not get the bounces when they needed them.
Right. At the same time, you're talking about quality opponents there. You're talking about Plymouth, you're talking about BR, and you're talking about this team here. That was a circus catch, a fantastic defensive play, and that's what you're up against,
There's the star of the game, folks. Patrick Velios made the plays when he had to. And he is the reason the Boxers will win this one. Brockton 14, Weymouth 10, 2 second-half touchdowns for the Boxers. The Wildcats own the first half, second half. It was the Boxers coming up with the touchdown drives as they had 2 long touchdown drives to put the Wildcats away. And the Wildcats, give them credit throughout this game. They never quit. They just could not come up with the key play when needed.
No, it's a tough way to end your season, but certainly no one's going off the field with their head hung low. They get their heads high, and there's good reason for that. They played a solid football team, and they played them tooth and nail right down to the gun. So it was a great time working with you, Mark. I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to babble like I have been.
Great to have you along for the ride, Leo.
All right, well, you're going to pick up my contract for the winter or what?
We'll pick it up in the winter, and hopefully we'll have an exciting time in the winter. And the Boxers defeat the Wildcats 14-10 as, well, for the Wildcats, a tough way to see the season come to an end. For Leo Doyle, I'm Mark Ducharme. Hope you have a happy Thanksgiving as Brockton defeats Weymouth in a very hard-fought contest. Good night from Legion Field.